Thank you for volunteering in the FoodShare South Carolina kitchen. Our kitchen hosts a variety of different programs, including culinary medicine for medical students and community cooks for community members. We believe cooking is an experience that should be joyful and can be used to empower someone to take control of their health. We accomplish this goal through hands-on instruction and the preparation of healthy meals combined with nutrition lessons and class discussion. As a volunteer, you are invited to join us for all aspects of the class. During this time, you have a couple of primary roles and responsibilities. At the beginning of class, be welcoming, introduce yourself to incoming participants, and assist participants in filling out the introduction survey if this is their first class with FoodShare. During the nutrition lesson, be engaged. This is a time that your only responsibility is to sit and participate alongside students and community members. When moving into the kitchen, we ask that you help participants obtain gloves, hairnets, and aprons. You'll be serving as a kitchen assistant, helping to ensure that everyone is following safe and hygienic practices. Later in this video, we'll go over some shared expectations of what safety and hygiene practices we will be helping to ensure. FoodShare staff may request that you work individually with 1 or 2 participants while in the kitchen who may need extra assistance with the cooking process or reading recipes. During this shared meal discussion, we invite you to eat alongside us. After all the students and participants have gotten in line, we invite you to enjoy the hard work that was put in during the kitchen portion of our class. We ask that all volunteers be prepared to stay after class for at least 30 minutes to help clean the kitchen and shared meal space. Before you come to volunteer for your first class, there are a few shared expectations that we would like to cover. First, we ask that you please wear closed-toed shoes and refrain from any clothing or jewelry that is loose or dangly. This ensures your safety as you navigate the kitchen space. Per DHEC regulations, you are required to have a hair covering. This may be a ball cap, hair scarf, hair covering, or if you do not have one or forget to bring a hair covering, we have some fashionable hair nets that you can use. Please be punctual and reliable for the volunteer commitment you have made. We understand that life happens and sometimes cancellations are inevitable. If this is the case, please contact the FoodShare staff as soon as possible so that we can make appropriate arrangements. We want to make sure that it is a safe environment for participants, volunteers, and staff members alike. So if you ever feel uncomfortable, please tell a staff member and we will help create a more enjoyable experience. You are not responsible for mediating any conflict between participants. For many of our participants, being in the kitchen is a different experience. When mistakes happen, it is our job to help ensure that the participant feels encouraged at that moment and not embarrassed. If new materials need to be obtained, just let us know. We are very prepared for these situations. Food safety is critically important. We are creating meals that will be shared and want to make sure that all food is made both delicious and safe to consume. We ask that you are vigilant in helping us achieve that goal in the following ways. First, in many classes, we will encourage participants to taste their dishes as they grow to gain confidence in flavor building. We must enforce the policy of 1 taste per tasting spoon. No double dipping is allowed in the FoodShare kitchen. We have brightly colored cutting boards that are exclusively for raw meat. These are the only surfaces that raw meat may be on, and any other material used in the handling of that meat, including knives, must not be used for anything else. Immediately after finishing with the board or utensil, that item needs to be taken away from the cooking station to the dishwashing station for sanitation. When handling that raw meat on the cutting boards, we ask that gloves are worn. Before handling any other materials, please discard those gloves, wash your hands, and obtain new gloves. Third, accidents happen in the kitchen. When knives are involved, sometimes those accidents result in minor injuries. If this occurs, please alert a FoodShare staff member immediately and do not make contact with any blood. All new materials will be obtained for the participant if they can continue in the kitchen after receiving first aid assistance. Lastly, we'd like to talk about safety in regards to our knives. Our knives are very sharp. Safe handling practices are essential. To help guide our participants, we'd like to show you some quick things to look for. First, we want to look for tucked fingers. Second, we want to make sure our participants are taking advantage of the natural rocking motion of our knives. Third, along with that, we want to make sure our participants are anchoring the tip of the knife on the board to make sure that they have control over where that blade is going. And lastly, don't be afraid of using the big knives. The smaller ones out of context can be even more dangerous. Finally, a part of being comfortable in the kitchen is understanding how to use all the equipment that is there. Our oven will always be preheated for you and have the temperature clearly labeled. Please do not allow participants to alter the temperatures. Most of our cooking occurs on hot plates. For our hot plates, medium heat is approximately 4 and the high temperature is 6. The only time you should see a hot plate in the double digits is when trying to boil water. If you see an empty pan on a hot plate smoking, the participant has most likely burnt the olive oil. This is no big deal and it happens all the time. Just let FoodShare staff know and we will gladly bring the participant a new pan to use. We also use a mandolin slicer in some of our classes. Like our knives, this blade is very sharp and the guard must be used at all times. The last piece of equipment is our blenders. You'll know that the blender is turned on when there is a blue light under the left edge of the base. One press down turns the blender on and it will remain on until pressed down a second time. This has been a lot of information and we understand that you won't remember everything the first time you come to volunteer. If you're ever in doubt, please don't hesitate to ask. We love to answer questions. While our top priority is facilitating positive experiences for our participants, we believe that happens most effectively when our volunteers are also enjoying their time in the kitchen. At FoodShare, it's always been about more than just the box of food. It's about lives that are touched. It's about the moments we spend in the community with each other. When you volunteer in the FoodShare kitchen, you are a part of empowering communities to provide affordable, healthy, and delicious meals to their families. We are so excited by your commitment and can't wait to see you in the FoodShare kitchen soon.